Hello, and welcome to a special Saturday edition of the Morningscape Podcast. That's right, I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell, here to go through the Saturday, January 10th day of games. We have a lot of games upcoming, so let's just get on into it.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong. Welcome.
DJ, we are live. I believe the link was never posted in the Discord.
Nope. I don't care about that nonsense.
We don't care about the only place where people know where we tell the people to go to know when we go live. Yes, great.
I posted it on Twitter. They should be following me with a bated breath. What's the word? What's the term?
A bated breath. No, that is correct. So off to a hot start here, but what else can you expect from the finest folks in the DFS NHL podcasting video industry? As we go head to head with the finest folks in the industry, where the Stochastic Show is live at 1:30.
The best recording right now, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I hear a lot of beeping in your background. Is someone microwaving?
There is a microwave, and
that's what my shirt says too. Microwave. Look at us.
No shit. Oh, the symmetry.
It's a band.
We're on the same wavelength here. Yeah, that's how I'm trying to cook up the best plays on this slate.
What kind of waves are those? Are they microwaves? Okay. Now we should get into the podcast before everyone leaves, and there's only 2 people, so it wouldn't take much.
I mean, nobody knows we're live, so
that is a problem with getting viewership. I gotta say, normally you want to try to alert the people that might listen that you're gonna go live. I will tweet it. Oh, we
did our best.
Too.
I just retweeted it.
What do you think of my caption? Pretty funny.
I didn't even read it. I think we're good to go. We have a lot of games. You already cut out the nonsense. So I mean, yeah, we're on track. We're on track for an hour for this show. Absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The DJ overview, we'll have to wait until Tuesday. But we do have a number of games to go through. We have on ABC right now, Rangers at Boston. I have no idea what's going on there. I hope I'm winning. Calgary at Pittsburgh. That does not mean I'm winning or losing. Calgary at Pittsburgh, Columbus at Colorado, Dallas at San Jose is the 3:30/4 o'clock slate, I believe. And then a 10-game main slate of Florida, Ottawa, no Matthew Tkachuk, unfortunately. Anaheim, Buffalo, Vancouver, Toronto, Seattle, Carolina, Tampa, Philly, Detroit, Montreal, Chicago, Nashville, Islanders, Minnesota, St. Louis, Vegas, and LA, Edmonton. These later games I have not seen much about. The 7 o'clock games, the only thing that really stood out to me was Slavin back for Carolina and no Konechny for Philly and how they're responding to that. Otherwise, your typical nonsense in Toronto. We'll get there. Vancouver looks interesting, and we'll check in on the late games as we get to them. Anything off the top that you wanted to do a brief, the top thing from DJ of the slate?
What do you think the best odds are for Nathan MacKinnon to score today?
Oh, God. Columbus on the road. -125.
-140. Is he going to be Giga Super Omega Chalk or what?
Oh my God.
We'll get to it when we get to it. Yeah, I just saw that. Kind of. I don't have a ton of bets in. I kind of like to do a little preview of everything, look at a few things, get into the podcast, run through everything, kind of in real time, getting feedback from someone that is adamantly against me, and then we can go get into everything. So, are we starting with a little bit of the afternoon games?
Yeah,
3-gamer. Let's get.
Yeah, we will do that. Shout out to Shams, who is the only person I think other than you and me to have their YouTube homepage be like, hey, you want to watch this?
Yep. Yeah. Smart people do that. Smart people.
All right.
And good people.
So Calgary, we saw them redo their lines for last game. They then got fucking blitzkrieged by Boston, so they could change things at 3 o'clock here before warm-ups. I didn't see anything yesterday, so yeah, there is a 2-minute interview with the coach, and I'm guessing nothing interesting occurred. But if you're really interested in Calgary, you can go watch that. Last game they rolled Huberdeau, Kadri, Farabee, Coronado, Backlund, Coleman, Zari, Frost, Sharangovich. No changes defensively so far, which has been interesting, including the Sprucevich character. I think Parake is deemed out with injury right now, so I don't think he's an option, but keep an eye out for him because obviously when he returns, he could offer them something. Or, they could just use him for 14 minutes a night like they had been and all that. But DJ, any interest here for you in Calgary? I will just note before we get to you that Pittsburgh will be without Brian Rust, and we're not sure how they're replacing him at this exact moment.
I mean, it's 3 6.5s. One of them, the next one, I think in order, is really the one people are going to want to get to. But there's two incredibly obvious spots, and then there's kind of like Pittsburgh that, in theory, is a decent spot. But no one's really going to be playing the Flames. I think that there's a good reason behind it, but I definitely think there's a couple interesting players here. Like Connor Zary has been pretty good. The power plays are pretty split as well, so it's not like. And when I say split, I don't just mean like there's delineation between lines. Like that actually isn't what I mean. Like they actually are somewhat correlated by their 5-on-5 lines. It's more of like they are going to get equal playing time, and it's kind of who's ready to go out on the ice. I don't hate really any of the top three lines in a vacuum. I don't think any of them are great plays either, but like all of them have their merit. Now, last game, Coleman got benched. I think that was like the only thing I remember hearing from Huska about what happened. Like he only played 10 minutes and the rest of his line mates played 18. That feels potentially trade related, but maybe not. I just think it's like this team is a mess, but what do we know? And I think the only thing we really know is that the top two defensemen are incredibly valuable, and then there's pieces around them. So like if you're going to be playing one of them and getting unique, I don't think you're entirely wrong. Pittsburgh is not the best team defensively or in net. So how do you get the right kind of low-owned, high-upside pieces and still getting in probably a premium stack is sort of the option here. Personally, it's Zari or Coronado with probably one of these defensemen and high power to stack it. Coronado sucked, so tough break for him, but
yeah, that's kind of the problem here. I don't know. Backlund's been good enough to warrant consideration with either Weegar or Anderson. Right now, he's on the power play with Weegar, so that would be a slight lean. But you look at the team level matchup, and Pittsburgh has legitimately been good. They had like this weird swoon in, I think it was like a month ago in like mid-December, where they just like started losing games out of nowhere, like just like inconceivably losing them. Otherwise, they've played pretty well for pretty much the entire season. So, those preseason, like, oh, this team's going to suck, like that's kind of out the window for me. And yeah, my preseason Calgary's going to suck has been proven, very, very much so. So I'm not interested in Calgary here.
Their donkey truckers is kind of the way back for them. The game looks like there's pace on paper, and like one of these lines will be going up against, I'd say, weaker-ish competition. So I don't mind the Backlund call. Backlund, Weegar seems like a decent play. Zari, Weegar seems like a decent play. We can move over to Pittsburgh, and as you're already noting, there's been some immediate changes as we were basically. I don't know exactly what time they came out, but pretty close to when we went live.
Yeah. So just thinking through Brian Rust being out for Pittsburgh. Last game, worth noting, they had Malkin back. So Kindle, Malkin, Chinikov all played together. Malkin on the top power play. So there is a top power play job and a top line job to fill. They use that Kindle line as their quasi second line, I think, by ice time, including Chinikov. I believe he had a good game. This is all last night. I looked at it now, so I could be misremembering. But Mantha, Novak, Brazos seems like the line that gets broken apart here. And I suspect Mantha moves to the top line with Raquel and Crosby. And then Kevin Hayes slots in next to Novak and Brazeau. So I don't know. How does that sound to you, DJ? Does that sound like a worthy estimate here? Because Anthony Mantha would be quite interesting. I think he's been good,
I mean,
and I think he gets the power play job too here.
I mean, yes, he's been the most consistently on the top power play, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
I wonder what. I mean, again, they would be reconfiguring the power play setup in general and kind of having him as sort of the stone net front guy, which is an option. Like
maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
you're right.
So like it feels like it's not the fit for Russ, but it might be just it's a toss up. It's probably what him or I'd say Kindle,
I mean,
but then again Chinikov
yeah,
might be like we just haven't seen Chinikov on this team long enough to know if they actually like want to get him in like any way you slice it. I don't think any of those three players are exactly Rust. So then who is it? Like well, it's gotta be one of
Brazo.
those-
Yeah,
like
I don't
it's
know.
not.
Like,
So like
stick him in front of the net and good luck, maybe.
yeah,
Or,
so let's play Mantha then, right? Like we've already seen Mantha have success there. So yeah, I feel like it's one of those
yep.
three. Pick your poison. Two of them correlate with Malkin. I think that's the angle here that I would take. I mean, the top line's good, but it's really expensive. It gets a lot cheaper with Mantha. So if you're going with Mantha's on the top power play, I'm writing that top line makes sense. If you're kind of in the camp I'm in, I kind of like Kindle there. I have no issue going to Kindle Malkin
Yeah.
as kind of like a little two-man. Like Malkin's been sensational. This is a very, very, very cheap two-man that can help you afford some of the better, Nathan McKinnon's on this slate who I'm playing over Backlund Celebrini.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that two-man quite a bit.
Yeah. Malkin stepped right back in after missing, I think it was 15 games. I had 6 shot attempts, scored. Yeah, he did not seem any worse for the wear. And just looking at the ice time, 19 minutes for Rust, Raquel, Crosby, and 18 minutes for Malkin Kindle, and 15 minutes for Chinikov. Every other forward was below 14 minutes. So yeah, pretty clear 1-2 there for the Malkin Kindle line. I do like that mini, even if Kindle doesn't get the power play job. But there's certainly paths here.
Plus 425 for a goal on DraftKings and 350 on FanDuel. Like that might be something to just grab right now.
Okay.
If you're kind of riding what I'm thinking, even if he's not in the top power play, like he's going to see a ton of ice time and definitely has a propensity to shoot. Like I additionally, like as you kind of showed on the rainbow sheet, and maybe we're going a little bit long-winded on this game, but like this is a pretty supreme spot for Pittsburgh shots, and their goaltending and defense. Like I said, I just am not a long-term believer in. So like if you get into a situation where they're trailing, they certainly shoot the lights out of the puck. And we have somebody coming into a huge role. Like Mantha, I don't actually think he's been taken off the board, so might need to wait for him to come back. But he was minus 110 for 2 shots. I'm a little bit more interested in Kindle, who, when given the right opportunity, has been really, really good. He's minus 130 for 2 shots. And even Malkin, like, comes back in. He's plus 115 for 3, which is a little bit worse, but, like, I could see clicking that button. So I kind of like the Pittsburgh side a good bit for betting. Am I quiet?
Yeah. To me, you sound fine. DJ is quieter. That's interesting. There is a difference between
How about
the two.
now? Louder or better or even or nothing changed?
The chat will let us know, because I guess my noise canceling headphones, it's not a. Oh god, is DJ fucking with his shit? I am louder than normal. How is that possible?
Moods.
God, you know me. I'm just out here screaming into the microphone.
Like it is right in my face, and it says that is what is picking up
All right,
sound.
hold on. Let's.
It's not. My mic does say it's quieter than normal. Like, I'll look.
Is this
I
up
will
or
look into
down?
this a little bit.
Oh, I think that's up. Is this down? I could be just absolutely blasting. I don't know.
I have no.
Oh wait, that's no, that's headphone.
Audio.
The other thing is on the other side here.
Okay, output. Input.
I don't know which one is higher or lower.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go to exactly 69.
Okay, I figured it out.
Oh, yeah, you just got way louder and way quieter there.
All right.
I turned mine up a little bit. I hope it actually comes through. I don't really know. Let's
What
do
is
that.
this? What is this?
What?
I don't
You sound
understand
normal.
why. Yeah, I know because I think our headphones just block everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let's just keep it moving. If it doesn't
yeah.
sound better, say something in the chat. We'll keep moving. Again, I think we've
All right.
given. This is we're yeah. This isn't professional. We've done a good job. We've done as good. I guess I
I
did notice it when you got quieter that it sounds a little bit better now, but I do think my headphones just sort of adjusted to your sound.
okay. Well, DJ, do you think I can turn back on the mic settings that we were fucking with earlier? Or okay, it's fixed. We should just leave
It's
it alone.
fixed.
There was
Let's
some
take the
issues
win and move on.
yeah, there were some issues
Yeah.
pre-show with DJ's inputs changing, so I had to change some of the mic settings to try and help with that, and it worked. So we're just gonna go with it. But apologies for that. Next, or I think we were done with Pittsburgh. You can play
Yeah, we're good.
Carlton. Otherwise, I don't have much interest in other D-men. Um, Columbus and Colorado. Obviously, a 3-game slate with both McKinnon and Celebrini. I might as well just remove my entries, but I'm not going to. You know this. Um, Columbus, I don't think we have lines from. But interestingly, last game in their loss against Vegas, they moved both Monahan and Kent Johnson to the top power play with Ferensky, joining Charlie Coyle and Kirill Marchenko. That means Adam Fantilli not on the top power play in Columbus. We are so back. Um, I don't think that there's a ton that we can say that makes Columbus at these prices jump into consideration, except for a mini stack of Monahan and Johnson. If they stick together, if they're on the top power play, obviously for 6,700, you don't need a ton for those two players to get there.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Not a lot of interest here. I really do not like stacking against Colorado. Call me brave.
That makes sense. All right. So Zach Werenski's 8,500. Just compare that to Kel McCarr's 7,800. Seems pretty simple, though Werenski has just been crushing the efficiency. I think this isn't 10 games because Werenski missed a few games in there, but 11 and a half expected, 18 actual. McCarr zooming along at 12 and a half expected, 12 actual. So I prefer McCarr for $700 less, but I imagine that's very, very common among the field.
Yeah.
Anything betting wise from Columbus stand out to you?
Not really. I mean, it's. I think there might be something here. I might give it a little more of a look. That could be like at least in the realm of like the shots against aren't so low for Colorado, and they're often winning games, and the numbers have really cratered in this matchup. But I don't see anything that like immediately stands out. I on the other side of the game, on the Colorado side, there's something I will be going back to. Something I need to mention off the top is that Terry Lehkonen in an 8-goal game where he was on the ice, I believe, for 6 of those goals, he had 0 points. Top line, top power play, glued to McKinnon, minus 175 is a bit of juice, but are you willing to just add that in as a parlay piece, or
I
not
mean,
really?
I don't know. Minus 175 is a lot, and maybe Colorado just scores 5 goals every night till the end of time. But it's worth noting Columbus has not been terrible lately. They've been getting like everything here is blue for this game, and so that doesn't mean Colorado's the only team that you can play here. If I'm paying that much money for a wing, like I think I want to find just a few hundred more for Marchenko is sort of what it boils down to. But I don't know. I also think I might be siding with Macklin Celebrini here over McKinnon. So RIP to me. It's a tough game we play, but
Someone's got to do it.
yeah, I was just poking through some things before, and the $1,200 actually does matter for what I was thinking about. So and you get cheaper pieces around him. So
Yeah.
in any case, though, Lekkonen's fine.
Yeah, I'll just say like the Pittsburgh 2 with McKinnon, Lehkonen, Makar, or McKinnon, Nate Johnson, Makar technically is like a fucking glove. So that's probably going to be the chalk.
We'll see. I mean, we have San Jose, so
Yeah.
maybe Dallas is sober, but like I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll see. The second line though, Ross Colton moved up alongside Nelson Nichushkin. Nichushkin losing power play 1, but that has not mattered for much of the season. And Ross Colton is really good. It's been interesting to see him in the bottom 6 for the last month and a half. I think it's been a while since that Nelson, Nichushkin, Landeskog line got put together. Since we've seen Colton in an elevated environment, now it's in a great game. He's probably going to play more minutes than usual. So if there's anything lingering out there for Ross Colton, that would be of interest to me. Just given the environment and the matchup and the talent and whatnot. And then of course I would add that with Brock Nelson, who's been spectacular. The power play, pretty much any iteration of it being good involves Brock Nelson, which is a testament to him. And he has Cale Makar feeding him. So hey, not a bad game if you can steal the puck from McKinnon for long enough to get off a shot of your own. Otherwise, bottom 6, no thank you. They sent down someone, Kiviranta, I think draws in, but don't play the 4th line. And Colorado, thank you. Anything else here?
No, that sums it up. That very, very good assessment. Now we have our final game, which is, I guess you're right. I mean, everything is, it is quite the circus of a slate to start the day off, and this game is no different. 6.5 again. Dallas road favorites minus 162, and I feel like on paper that sounds like, oh, so they're not quite as big as maybe you'd think. So I really honestly think that almost just makes this game almost a little bit more enticing. Dallas is kind of like you have 2 options, and San Jose is a bit more of one. Is there one that stands out more to you if you are going to go the Dallas route as far as stacking against the pretty woeful Sharks defensively?
Yeah, I think teams have been treating the Hintz Robertson Bork line as top competition, so that sort of makes me think Celebrini gets that matchup. And it's not like I'm a huge the team defensively is going to shut him down, but Celebrini is carrying like positive expected goals differentials over the past like month or so. It's like 52%. He's getting 78% of the goals or whatever the hell it is. But the rest of the team is not. Like the rest of the team is still god awful. And so I think Steele, Johnston, Rantanen do get that run. Steele had a multi-point game against Washington, so I was fortunate enough to hit that. I somehow bet Sam Steele to score a goal with Johnston and Rantanen assists. The score had it like 25-1, and every other book was like 10-1. And Steele scored, and neither Wyatt or Rantanen got an assist. So, the L's to me in the chat. But I think just, similar pricing, I'm going to go back to that top line of Sam Steele because it just worked last game. And I think there's a bit of a matchup edge there. But yeah, this game to me is really what stands out. I'm interested in Thomas Harley getting depth matchups in San Jose. Like the main problem for Harley is that he's blocking shots because he's getting caved in, but he can't generate anything. Well, immovable object meet unstoppable force. Here come the San Jose Sharks depth pieces, and I think that Harley could take advantage. 4,600. I don't think he'll be very popular at all. I like his shot props. I just think getting the bounce back here is really interesting.
I love going to the Thomas Harley well. I have been burned a couple times on it, but this might be another spot to go right back to it. It's more of like
a volcano. You just stick your hand in, you get burned. It's not really a well that you're getting water from that's refreshing, but
not yet. He's the only USA-born Canadian player. And as we're getting closer to the Olympics, honestly, I wouldn't even say like the plus 135 on DraftKings for a point. Like I wouldn't say that's incorrect, but might just go shots instead. Nothing really majorly stands out from like this guy is in a role that looks blah blah blah. But like you could probably convince me to click Maverick Bork for 4-1 for a goal. Like I don't think that. I think there's dumber things out there.
Yeah. He has been very steadfast in setting up with he's stuck to that second line here. So that's a nice thing. So there's very little role like flexibility. Like Sam Steele and Matt Duchene, if they struggle for a period, could just flip flop, and that could be the end of it.
Yeah, I
So
hate Matt Duchene, so that's good.
yeah,
Good to know. Yep, San Jose side.
San Jose. San Jose. They practiced yesterday, I believe. Yeah, they practiced. I'm almost positive. Chernishaw, Celebrini, Eklund, Brigenda, Wenberg, Toffoli, Skinner, Gaudette, Graf, and Goodrow, Ostapchuk, Ryan Reeves. No Michael Misa. He's with the team. He's going to stay with them for the rest of the year, apparently. But I think they play tomorrow, and that's when he was projected to play. Yeah, they play tomorrow against Vegas. So I think tomorrow's Michael Misa day. But of course, the top line has been quite good. Chernyshov, not on the power play one with them, but Eklund is. Top line is 19K, which again, Dallas 1 is 18-1, and Dallas 2 is 18-2. Colorado is more than that, 22K. So we're kind of looking at really the only 3 lines in this price range are in this game. So I prefer Dallas 1, but I think Celebrini is a one-off. You can't argue with it. The expecteds match the actual output. And yes, it involves a lot of pucks going into the net that you think will not happen, but I don't know what. All right. TJ was just unplugging something. Yeah, I like Celebrini here, and I don't mind adding on a Toffoli or Eklund to that mix. Dmitry Orlov is just, he hasn't done anything with or without John Klingberg in, so I'm not falling into that well, I don't think. Oh boy, I see we've hit a nerve with Matt Duchene.
I don't know what's going on. I hope you can hear me. What is it? Just it keeps going on and off. What is going on?
I don't know. It sounds like you're in like a car garage or something.
I wish.
Anyway, I think we can move on to the main slate.
Okay, to the main slate.
All right.
Yeah. One other thing as I was looking through stuff and I just bet it was Chinikov's actually almost 100 points better on DraftKings, 425 for a goal, 340 on FanDuel. So I just grabbed that 425 for Chinikov.
Yeah.
Like he's getting minutes. Like he has the one of. I mean, I think he's like if you put him on a line with Connor Bedard, for example, which is what I was hoping would happen. Like I think he could be a 25 goal scorer. Like if you just allowed him to do it. Teams just don't, and I think this is a thing. So yeah, I mean that'll be my guaranteed goal for the early slate too. 425. I mean Kindle is plus 390 now. That's fine. Either of those two. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to the maybe a quick guaranteed goal score, or just keep it and then we'll keep it moving.
The guaranteed goal will be Mikko Rantanen. Very not bold, but
yep. Best on DraftKings, it was like 155,
hey.
I believe. So better than I thought. Honestly, of all the guys in that game, I thought that was 160 actually is best. 155 on DraftKings, 160 on FanDuel. I thought that was kind of odd that he is so much worse than Robertson. I guess makes sense, but I don't know. That game feels like anarchy. Okay. I need to re-sign into DraftKings for some reason. So.
Anarchy. Jesus. Okay. So I go in the... Oh, I went in the score order for this, not the DraftKings order. Okay. Anyway, Anaheim, Buffalo. I regret to inform you, but Anaheim looks okay in the rainbow sheet. They do not look okay on the ice. We don't know what their lineup's going to be, but last game they rolled Granlund, McTavish, Seneca. That line is fully correlated on the power play, 13.6K. Tough scenes. Cutter, Paling, Kreider. There was no Troy Terry. I don't think he's going to play, but again, haven't seen anything, so got to keep an eye out. And Killorn, Leo with Ryan Strome sort of playing the Troy Terry role on that power play too, with Cutter, Kreider, Lacombe, Killorn. I don't know what you do. I mean, Anaheim, I want to believe, but I think we just wait for lineups and then we say, well, actually McTavish, Seneca, Cutter is going to be the best, and just we pray. But yeah, I don't know. Seems inevitable that Anaheim will play kind of well, and Buffalo will just squash them anyway because Buffalo just has the best players in the world apparently, like Matthias Samuelsson.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, any thoughts on Anaheim here?
It's a pretty big slate, a lot of options. Anaheim isn't that cheap. They've played bad. I feel like it's just unnecessary, but there's definitely like I feel like this like you kind of summed it up though. Like if you're like, you know what, fuck it, dog. Like Sabres are not this good. Anaheim's better than they're playing lately, and like actually the the Rainbow Sheep, for example, is saying it's a better matchup. Like just gotta wait for warm-ups and hope that like it's a little bit different and you could get like sort of this perfectly correlated top power play situation that might be a little bit better, but at this current iteration I'm just not gonna do it. And if I was gonna do it, it would be I'm just clicking on Cutter. Like if he's with Ryan Poehling and Chris Kreider, then I'm not clicking on Cutter. So like I'm not playing this at all. Like it'd have to be Cutter with one of the legitimate pieces at center, and if not, then I'm out.
Okay. Buffalo side, Krebs, Thompson, Doan, Zucker, Norris, Tuck, Quinn McLeod Benson. Did we see a fourth line tweak? I don't think so. I think they're keeping the same lineup. Why would they change anything? We might have also gotten a confirmed goalie, but I did not update it because who cares about goalies? They're not real people.
It is UPL.
Okay. Looking through their lineup, Tage has obviously been very good. Samuelsson has been just better than Dahlin, expected and actual. Make it make sense. Somebody, please. And then Doan and Tuck both look fine. And otherwise, yeah, you can play Quinn McLeod Benson, but I don't know. I do wonder if ownership's coming in on the Sabres or not. Well, what is their money line right now?
It's minus 162, 6.5, minus 135. So like pretty high. Yeah, I think there'll be some interest here. I think there's a few I think good and obvious-ish spots. A lot of 6.5s on this Saturday slate, so maybe it won't be insane. And like I think that the Tage Thompson kind of like Tage Dahlin of it all is going to be less popular, with like Toronto and Edmonton being in really good spots, like LA on a back-to-back and basically all flu ridden, and then you have like Toronto against Vancouver, who's just been completely anemic. Like probably takes away from the upper echelon, but certainly Norris and Zucker will raise some eyebrows. Like that line's been awesome. It just kind of depends on the game script for how much run those two lines get at 5-on-5, and if they're gonna they will just roll four lines like that. Yeah. They are not afraid to put out Malincine and Greenway for 14-15 minutes. Like you're really trying to thread a needle, I feel like, with one line dominating at 5-on-5, which could happen with some of this Anaheim depth, especially these days, and getting a soft defensive matchup against like a Drew Hellison. So like it's there, but not my favorite. I don't really think anything stands out in a massive way on this game either from a betting side. Like we got to know what Anaheim's lines are before you can make a easy decision.
Okay. The Stoner's going Doan anytime goal. So there you have it, folks. Thank you, Shams, for
he's one of the he can get bailed out by an empty net guys. Like that's one of the guys they throw over the boards in those situations. So
yeah,
have at it. But yeah, I mean, shot totals, like this game feels like Anaheim should have some shot numbers, and almost all their guys are pretty suppressed. Just because I feel like the general thesis is that Buffalo is really good defensively, which is kind of true. But I don't right now have a hard stance. Like nobody on Anaheim other than Cutter has been really good, and I just am not betting on Cutter if that's his line.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's move to Seattle, Carolina. Schwartz. Yep, Schwartz was a guy that I don't think we saw morning skate to know where he's playing, but Slavin got activated, and still Slavin, nothing for Still nothing for Seattle because God
Ever.
forbid they tell us anything. What's weird though is Seattle moved Freddie Gaudreau to the top power play last game. Eberle was out, so like
Oh,
it, they had to replace him with a righty, I guess. But the Schwartz just slot in for Gaudreau and shift everyone else down the lineup and Cartier out. Like, kind of feels like it's possible, but also, why was Freddie Gaudreau top power play for an NHL team? So TBD there. I don't think we want any piece of Seattle going against Carolina with Jacob Slavin back in the fold, though. So anything
Yeah.
here?
No. You know what?
Cool.
I'm not like, yeah.
Very
you're,
smart.
You're praying that Brandon Bussey is actually bad, and we've had nothing to support that. They're not
Yep.
going to get a ton of volume. There are cheap pieces. I mean, like for everything that we want to say negative about Seattle, they're still playing Stevenson and Freddie Gaudreau now 20 minutes a night. So those are incredibly cheap pieces. Power play one correlated. Have at it if you wish. I will sit this one out. Carolina back to more or less full health. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that isn't playing that I'm not thinking of maybe, but I guess goaltending wise that isn't true. But like at this point, Bussy is the best goalie here, so who cares? It's I mean, it's a fine matchup. I don't think Seattle's horrendous defensively. I mean, the sportsbooks will make you believe that this is going to be a Carolina destruction. Like it's minus like 250 at home and a 6.5. So I guess Carolina, I mean, it's plus 114 on that over. Minus 290. I guess Carolina should score a lot of goals here. Are you going to play Carolina?
I do not think so. Look at these prices. It's 19.6K to play the top line. You could play the second line, but like they've not been good. So, you're paying 11.7K and they're getting 22 expected and 21 actual. Like that's 2x. It's not even 2x. It's, less than 2x. So it's not like you're getting like a huge value just based on pure production. And yes, Seattle right now is riding hot goaltending, and year after year we see Carolina get outed by hot goaltending. So it's not like they're a team that has a lot of answers offensively. So I'm good fading these prices. If you do play Carolina, I think you got to play Shingasisbear. There's a chance that Slavin is back to the reduced minutes that we saw originally. When Slavin returned, he was playing like 13, 15 minutes a night, and that meant Gossesberry played like 25. So I'm interested to see if that occurs again. And again, I think if you're playing Carolina, you have to bet on their power play taking off anyway, and Gossesbear's been like the sole reason for that. So, I think Carolina's a decent fade, but that's how I would play it if so.
Yep, I agree. I mean, it seems like every matchup seems like a good matchup for Carolina to shoot. This one feels a little bit better just because of how good the goaltending's been for Seattle. And like Seth Jarvis is returning his shooting, so I guess I lean that way, but I don't fucking know. I mean, nothing feels like a standout for betting or DFS here, so we can keep it moving.
Detroit, Montreal. We did not see lines, but we saw John Leonard sent down, so I think Elmer Soderblom's healthy. So I just plugged him in, but they called up Sheldon Dries. If not, I imagine they're keeping their same lineup from Thursday. So Finney, Larkin, Casper, DeBrincat, Cop, Kane, JVR, Comfer, Lucas Raymond. After I shit on Lucas Raymond, I think he was the third highest scoring winger on the slate on a Thursday. I didn't shit on him, but I'm like, JVR with Raymond. Just play JVR. It's fine. And JVR was fine, but Raymond was awesome. I think he had 25. Does that sound right? 23.4, a goal, assist, 2 shots, and the blocks bonus because, Brock Besser would never get a blocks bonus. So I don't know. That third line is still in play though, because this Montreal club, they're using, the corpse of Phil Deneau and Joe Boleno, Blay, and Beck in their bottom 6. So the matchup seems like it'll be fine for them. Kaden Guhle is back though for Montreal, so my interest in Detroit is quite limited. Anything from you here?
No, I'm just looking through a few things, and Soderblom is on the roster report for today, so I agree with your him coming back. Montreal has some guys coming back into the lineup too. I feel like they're decently impactful, and I just am not going to pay through the nose for Detroit in this discombobulated format. Like it is funny that like you were saying last time, we are like, yep, like JVR is the play. Like you don't need to play Raymond. Like it's too expensive, and we were right and wrong all in one fluid motion. That's the only thing that really is like perfectly correlated. I actually like if you would have put a gun to my head and told me like, okay, like I don't even like you could bet as much money as you want. Patrick Kane scores twice and gets the goal record. As much money as you wanted to bring it to get a point, right? Somehow he just doesn't. And I feel like it's just maybe a bit of the way the puck flows in general. Like, but the upside doesn't feel great. The correlation of like winning a 10-game slate with monster like the I don't know if you know what the right terminology really is here to put together. It just I just do not see a slate winner here, and I don't know how else to put it. So I'm maybe more interested in Montreal. I'm not even sure if I'm that interested in Montreal, but we could at least get to the changes and discuss like what that would look like if you're ready.
Yeah. Just noting, I think Patrick Kane scored on the power play, but it was a 5-on-3. So
Yeah.
they could move back to normal power play with Kane in place of JVR, but I think that was intentional. Seems weird, but whatever. So a little note there. On the Montreal side, their matchup does look a lot better. By the way, if you're not tending to the YouTube chat, my captain is out for the showdown slate to attend to a family matter. So I hope everything's okay with Morgan Geeky. But yeah, that's tough. Tough scenes. For Montreal, though, looks like a pretty good spot for them. Texier, Suzuki, Caulfield, 16.7K. Texier coming off of a giga nuke, I think is the proper term. Yeah. Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov, 13.7K. Just pointing out, they have 32 expected fantasy points over the last 10, 36 actual for 13, we call it 14K. That is like 2.5x their salary. My God, I'm interested to see what ownership looks like on these fellows. And then I mentioned the bottom six. Who cares about them? So my interest here is in that second line. But DJ, any thoughts on Montreal? Given you are the Alex Texier whisperer, apparently.
One off Texier did work last time out, to the shock and awe of only the Slappies who joined me in that mission. Yeah, I mean either line is fine in its own right. Like Texier's been very, very good. Sometimes the hot hand can stay hot for a little bit longer than 2 games, and playing with Suzuki Caulfield is certainly helpful. The minutes have sort of followed along with how good he's playing. It just, again, that's what coaches will do. We haven't seen the same shot propensity from Suzuki with 2 just much, much better, I feel like, finishers on a line with him. Caulfield kind of came back into the shooting forefront and looking like he might return to that sort of prowess, and it's hit or miss. The second line's been much more consistent, as you're mentioning, and like Juraj Slafkovsky even hit a blocks bonus last game along with 2 points. He had a 5 block game in that mix against Carolina. Like Detroit isn't the Docky Truckers of the year or anything, but they certainly push pace. Like you could really convince yourself here of either of those 2 lines and different reasons why. The pricing on that first line too it's cheap. It's not just cheap as 2, but it's cheap. I tend to agree with the second line, and then going even further in the weeds here, Lane Hudson and Alex Carrier, Matheson, Dobson, and now Jack Eye and Caden Gooley. And Caden Gooley returning to the lineup is a boost defensively on the penalty kill. He kind of does it all. So like, this is a good team, and I think it's just warranted to. Like, I think they're just better than Detroit, and this game matters a lot. Like, I know it's not late in the year yet, but, like, this is a very important game for both these teams, and they know it. Like, I do think that, not that should be a decision maker for you, but, maybe they will block an extra puck, and maybe, I think that, like, that isn't a wrong method to consider as the season goes on. So, I like Montreal, too.
Yeah, long-term, Slafkovsky is one of the better, like, rates blocks guys in the league too. Like it's not like a short-term thing with him. So
and the power play is really, I think, pretty strong, and he will factor in more from a goal scoring perspective. So like the upside, I feel like is definitely there for Safkovsky. So I like it.
All right.
Wherever you
Next
want to
game
bet.
up, Tampa. Sorry, what was that?
No, I was just thinking like from betting too, like you could take a look at Safkovsky for
Oh,
whatever.
okay. I thought that was a question. I was like, oh,
No,
gotta answer the question.
no.
Next up, we have Tampa heading into Philly for the first of 2 games in Philadelphia. I think they play again on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, on Monday.
Mm.
So interesting little schedule wrinkle there. But on the Tampa side, it looks normal. Kucherov, Point, Gonsalves, Hagel, Sorelli, Gensel, uh, Holmberg, Gord, Gergensons, Paul, James, Bjorkstrand. Yes, one of the best teams in the NHL. And that's just their forwards. Their defense, Mosier, Radish, Destu, Chernak, Carlisle, Max Crozier. Like, okay. Just awesome. Awesome team. I think Kucherov is obviously the linchpin here, but everyone has been good and is in play, except for Gage Gonsalves. Just don't play him. He's not Sam Steele. I don't think. I think he's significantly worse, like hockey IQ wise, than Sam Steele. So I don't think you can get away with playing him more than like once or twice a slate. And I used my once or twice, I think, in week 2 of the season, and it did not work. Believe it or not. Anything?
Yeah, Philly's been really, really good defensively. It's kind of, I mean, I don't know if we had definitely haven't mentioned this, but Thursday I did have another lineup that had Austin Matthews in it, and I had him at like less than 2% ownership on a slate, and Philly just put the absolute fucking clamps on him. And I do not to say that that's going to happen again, and like Kucherov's just not going to have the production that we expect from Nikita Kucherov or anything. I mean, he's a cover boy for a reason, but I do think that ownership's going to be very low. Like I do think that'll continue to carry over, and that does intrigue me. Like Kucherov can have 5 points against absolutely anybody. It's a 6.5 for a reason, -180, and like I do think this is actually a decently sneaky spot. And you don't need to go overboard with this. Like you could just play him in point. It's expensive, but it's not that expensive. There's a lot of options on this slate that are cheap to afford it. Darren Radish at 6,200 now. Tough to click, but could click it if you're going that route as well.
Yeah, the game looks gross, like you were mentioning. Philly just has been doing that. So it is what it is. It's not my top spot or anything. I think if I'm going to use this game, I'm going to play Kucherov with some cheaper stuff on the flyer side.
Yeah,
Because,
because
as you may have noted,
another cover boy.
no Travis Konechny. Matvey Michkov goes up against a wizard himself. Top line with Zegras, Dvorak, top power play. If you just imagine Travis Konechny but better, that's how I imagine Michkov. Oh God, I'm crashing out here. My nose is still not cleared up, but Michkov is 4K, and like
Yep.
for the role he's gonna get, like I just can't imagine Grunstrom, Cates, Gorbenkin, Hathaway, Abels, Delurier has any chance of getting Michkov below 16 minutes in this game if it's close. The top power play is also reoriented with Owen Tippett on the top unit. Like it's finally all happening in the absolute worst possible time. And yes, you could say Rasmus Ristolainen is running that top power play, but I said this for years. I think Risto's single most quality as a defenseman is passing the puck on the power play, the players who are good. Like that is the one thing you can do in Buffalo well, year after year after year. And yes, he makes boneheaded decisions sometimes, but so does Jamie Drysdale. So does Erik Karlsson, for that matter. Like it happens. It's everything else in the game that Risto's problems were. So I don't think him being on the power play one is like a detriment to Michkov Tippett at all. And obviously Zegras and Dvorak have just been really good options throughout the last little run of month or so that they've been together and been crushing, and their minutes have been more and more elevated. And again, I don't think that the bottom 6 forwards are stealing ice time from them like they were in past when Brink, Forster, Konechny were all healthy. There was just a lot more to take up. So not a huge spot, but I think given the value, I will be considering it if, say Montreal 2 is actually like the chalk of the night or something.
Yeah, I mean, a bet that I'm probably going to click the buttons on right now because I was looking at Michkov for shots, and over on the score, used to be ESPN, he's minus 145 for two and minus 200 on DraftKings for two. So
Wow.
pretty big difference there. Minus
Hmm.
192 on FanDuel if you were looking for a third option to kind of push you in either direction. Um, Not that I think Michkov is. I mean, well, but first off, what was the injury he was dealing with? It was a foot injury after blocking a shot. So he had to rest, and I'm sure that's completely resolved. It definitely shouldn't affect his shooting propensity. It's kind of come up and down, but I think that's more dependent on the line mates he plays with. And also, I just pulled up Michkov on the score up, and it says minus 190. So thank you, Unabated, for lying to me. Um,
It probably
Maybe that,
was, and then they fixed it. Yeah.
yeah, damn it. Well, easy come, easy go on finding a very, very easy click. Still the lowest, but I'm going to go too deep in the weed, but like it's plus 155 on DraftKings for three and 145 for three on score. I don't know. Whatever. I like Michkov here. I like him for whatever you want to bet. 370 for a goal. One. Okay. Again, it says 150 for a point. Is that going to be right?
What
Because if
is
that's right,
So what I will say is the
no,
score has been
120.
better about same game parlay stuff.
Yeah,
They just
that's true.
offer they penalize your correlation less, so that is interesting if you want to try to cook something like that up. But let's not spend too much time on that
No,
because
no,
I
no. I
know.
agree. I mean, yeah, from a DFS, I really like the game stack idea. Just hoping this game turns into something more. But there's a lot of games to get to, so yeah, we can keep it moving. Florida and Ottawa. Good bit of news and notes here. Of course, we're not going to get into the whole rumor situation of it all, but not
We're
that
not.
this like. I mean,
I
what are
came
we gonna?
prepared.
All right, fine. Then we can get into the whole rumors situation of it all if you need to. Um, Anything you want to say before we get into Florida?
I mean, the Mike Hoffman revenge game of revenge games.
If only he was here to do it.
I
Yes.
know. I know. I know.
Him
Very
and him
sad.
and Eric Carlson revenge game in some capacity. Yeah, this Ottawa thing is weird. I don't know. I mean, like, does it make you feel any type of way about this game in like Ottawa's gonna really go out there at home and play for the play for the crest or something.
Well, they got to play for something. It's not their
They
partners.
they
All
did not
right.
do that in Colorado.
That is also true. I don't know. Luce Ryan and Lindell Reinhart is once again sub 16K. They're still getting power play time. Lindell did now get flip flopped for Hagee because I don't know. Coach Donkey Fucker is just
Mm,
pulling all
that's
the
his
strings
name.
apparently. Coach Donkey Fucker.
Oh, okay. I did keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't know
Believe it or not, we've been long-standing not big Paul Maurice guys.
that.
Um,
It's
so
worked out well so far for us.
yeah, and if I can be half as funny as him, then this will be the greatest NHL podcast out there. So,
Never gonna happen.
um, yeah. So Verhage Bennett, no Marchand, so AJ Greer with them, great. Sandis Vilmanis called
Hmm.
up to slot in. He was 21 last year in the AHL, not very good. A 19th rounder. I don't even know how to divide 150 by 32 a few years back, so doesn't seem like he's much of a player. Their bottom six sucks. It's Erod, it's Samoskevich. They're cheap, but Boakfist sucks, and everyone sucks
Hmm.
here, except for I don't know Sam Reinhart. He's really good, and Sam Bennett's been awesome. So shout out to Carter Verhage, someone managing 3.7 fantasy points per game over the last 10. Doesn't even seem remotely possible for someone like him to do that, but I guess he has. And not much better expected to boot. But hey, got to get that power play one time, don't we?
Yeah, their power play is just a fucking you never fucking know. Every night it seems to be different than I
Yeah.
expect it to be in one way or another. So good luck. I mean if you're if I'm playing Florida and I'm playing Reinhardt, but that's all this. If you're playing Florida, like Reinhardt's playing
All right.
24 minutes, he is everything and more.
Here's
Um, yeah.
here's what I will say. With all these injuries, we finally saw Forsling get a power play 2 shift last game. He's been dreadful this season from a fantasy standpoint. But I call your attention over to the right side where I keep the long-term stats for these defensemen. And long-term, Gus Forsling has been one of the better rate defensemen, like,
Yeah.
depth defenseman in the league. And he's not a depth defenseman. He plays 25 minutes a night. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. But for fantasy purposes, in any case, if this sort of mass exodus of the lineup is going to do anything for anybody, it should do something for Gus Forsling, where he actually needs to do something with his minutes. He just has not this year. But he's 3,100, and he long term is basically the same play as Aaron Ekblad. And so,
Plus 195 for a point.
oh, that's really annoying. I might actually click around that to see if, like, because what I do is I have this plus 320% boost thing that I get every day, and I always lose. I find great ways to lose, but trying to finagle that into like 2 shots and a point or something, and seeing what I can do there. But because I hate doing it on a parlay, because I just feel like a fucking donkey going like, oh, I need 2 things to hit to get this boost, and it's like, then whatever. I'm stupid, and that's all you need to know.
So Forsling played with Ekblad as well, just like does that matter? Well, it only matters because like those guys are completely glued to the top 6. They're basically just trying to tread water with all the rest of their players, and they don't do very well at that. So it's the top 6 is going to be out there with Forsling as much as possible. So that 195 number is probably fine. It like conceptually it makes sense, and the way Ottawa is playing, and I mean their goaltending is so bad as of late that they're like in the middle of a game.
How bad is it?
We need to go sign James Reimer off the streets because that's how bad our goaltending is. It'll be Marilainen in the net. He is giving up 3.5 goals per game this season. So is that going to continue?
Yeah,
but should get better, right? This guy was decent last year. I don't know, but like better is still 3. So,
Ottawa was playing musical chairs with their centers for some reason in Colorado, and now they're back to their more.
What's the reason? Lines. Did they give up 8 goals or?
No. Before the game, they decided to do that because they were struggling so much, and so they basically hit rock bottom, and then they just went back to the lines that honestly had been working. Like, I don't know, like just whatever. It's Travis Green. You believe it or not, this is not the best coaching matchup in our eyes. So Kachuk, Stützle, Zetterlund, Perron, Cousins, Batherson, Giroux, Pinto, Amadio, Cousins, Greg Eller, Jordan Spence down to the 3rd pair because, great. I'm sure Cliffy is doing a 17-minute rant right now over on the Stochastic Show about that said exact thing. So go check that out after we're done. But what I will say is Pinto is on power play 1 over Dylan Cousins, which means the only correlated power play 1 people are Kachuk, Stützle. You can pay 15.7 for those 2. Honestly, don't have a huge problem with that, given the state of this Florida lineup. But I would play Fabian Zetterlund with it. He's 3,600 and was really good alongside those guys for a couple weeks there.
Yeah, I really don't have a problem with Ottawa at all, to be entirely honest. Like I really like this game in like the entirety of it. I just think that like Ottawa has more upside on that top line than Florida has in any sort of a straight and narrow stack. So I do like that. I mean, Jacob Sanderson has continued to be very good. 6,400 is quite a bit to pay for him, but he one of the guys like we kind of talk about a walking, double bonus guy. Like he has definitely proven to be that. He's on the ice throughout the whole game. Everybody else defensively has been porous. He's very good. He should definitely see opportunity to hit, at least a blocks bonus, if not, have 2-point upside. So I don't mind stacking Ottawa. It feels a little bit narrative driven in my head, and I wonder if that's like factoring into where I'm going with this. But again, like no issue going like Sanderson minus 110 for a point. Brady minus 160. Like all these guys are pretty low compared to the Florida guys, and I just don't know if I entirely agree with that. Florida's just like all season, but like definitely even more so as of late and has continued. Like they've bled a bit as far as giving up shots. So I'm gonna look into that a bit more and see if there's anyone you want to shout out, or I mean I know you're a big Tim Stützle to shoot guy.
Well, what I will say is that rumors indicate Tim Stützle is one of the only single players on the Ottawa Senators. So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Cousins is
unaffected.
shooting a lot.
Yeah, he got moved out the top power play. So fuck
Oh
him.
yeah, you're right. Shit. What's the top power play against? Wait, who got what?
Pinto.
It was
Pinto.
Pinto.
Yeah.
Man, am I gonna bet Shane Pinto to fucking shoot? Oh no.
Jeez. We haven't had any scandals around Shane Pinto in the past year and a half, so I'm sure he's not wrapped up in this one.
Pinto did nothing wrong, and I know that, and you know that.
He definitely doesn't cheat. Not at all. Nope.
If he wants to bet, he can bet. If he wants to cheat, he probably shouldn't do that. To be honest, it's bad form. But he's like 20. Right. Like what do you? Okay, we can move on.
DJ. Gonna need you to look up how old Shane Pinto is right now.
He's probably 25.
He is 25 years old.
That's fine. Okay, let's keep it moving.
Grown ass man.
But like
7 years into an adult sentence in prison. All right.
For gambling?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Illegal, illicit gambling.
Shane Pinto over the last 5 games has 3.4 shot attempts per game. So that doesn't bode well, but roll increase and historic data is something. Okay, let's keep it moving now.
All right. Vancouver in morning skate in Toronto, or maybe it was practice, whatever. DeBrusk, Pettersson, Carlson, Ogren, Sasson, Besser, Kane, Ratu, Hoglander, O'Connor, Camp, Sherwood. Expecting their power play to remain Sherwood, DeBrusk, Pettersson, Besser. It could be Tom Willander. Zeev William was on the ice for a goal last game with those 4. I think that was like a shift change, but, they like both these guys. I think both guys have a chance to be power play 1 regardless, and neither one has been great fantasy-wise, so I don't think it really matters. But Linus Karlsson has been awesome pretty much all season long.
Yeah.
He's been like their best forward. I think he's actually their highest point-producing forward, which, obviously injuries and whatnot, but he's been healthy and he's been productive. He's 3,400. DeBrusk has been very good. We called him out like a week ago, I think, and saying like, hey, maybe him being benched was like a wake-up call, and now he's going to shoot. And I think I guaranteed a goal, and he hit the guaranteed goal, and he just continues to do the things to generate 13.2 expected fantasy points. He is $4,800 playing with Elias Pettersson and their best player in Linus Karlsson. So I don't hate this top line. I'll be honest with you. Toronto is getting a lot of love at the moment, and you talked about it. Philly said, hey, Toronto, like, get out of here, basically. I know that game went to overtime, so it wasn't quite like that, but they certainly did not look like the Toronto Maple Leafs of old that we've been sort of told. So I don't know. Matthews is good, but we'll talk about Toronto in just a second, where their lineup is just stupid. So yeah, I'm not hating Vancouver 1 here.
Yeah, I mean it's Vancouver 1 or nothing, I guess. Like the keeper Sherwood numbers are something. Like he is shooting and he's out there and he's getting a power play role, but like I'm not signing up for an 8-point game from Kiefer Sherwood. Probably I just rather find the 700 for DeBrusk, who actually has NHL chops. So that's kind of like I feel a bit like it's going to turn into a one-off for me. These defensemen are interesting, but like, do I need to play Russian roulette with Tom Willander and Zeev William? Like, I don't think I do. So it's probably William for me. Just he feels a little bit more like they're gonna give him the role no matter what. But if he's not top power play, it's obviously worse at 3,200. But that's all I really got here. We can talk. Toronto's much more. Toronto, I think a lot of people are going to take. So, what are we thinking?
Toronto rearranged the Matthews line to Nylander's back. So Tavares, Nylander, Michelli is why they did this. But Toronto going Matthews, Nyes, Max Domi, Cowan, Waugh, Robertson, and then they moved Bobby McMahon down to the 4th line with Lorenz and Lawton. And like, if you were going to credit Matthews having a turnaround for something, it has to be Bobby McMahon.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
It was terrible before that. And no matter what they did, nothing was working. Bobby McMahon's been awesome. And they're like, hey, how about Scott Lawton for you? Like, if Bobby McMahon were just Max Domi here, and he's on the power play too, and he's on that top line, and Max Domi's on the fourth line, I'm probably sitting here hooting and hollering and saying, "Hey, let's go play Toronto against this dog shit Vancouver team." But now it's like Max Domi doesn't do anything. He doesn't really help anyone do anything, and Nyes and Matthews with Domi like just hasn't worked. And maybe Matthews is so fixed that now it's just gonna work, but it's pretty frustrating. So I gotta say, I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared of that stack. Not overly interested myself in Toronto here. What's interesting is Nylander's now 6,600. So if you want to bet on someone, I think he's the guy. Tavares though moved to the second power play, so you're not even getting like great correlation with Michelli on the top unit as a passer, first and foremost, but. Ultimately, I think that only helps a guy like Nylander and obviously Matthews as one-off plays more so than like a stacked Toronto situation. So, any contradicting thoughts from you on Toronto?
If I play Toronto, it's just Nyes, Matthews, and Nylander. Like Domi is irrelevant to me, and Nylander will be over the boards much quicker than anybody else. Tavares down to the second power play. I'm not sure if you explicitly said it. Maybe you did in that whole gambit, but keeping Michelli out there to pass, Nyes is going to be net front. It should really only open up more vacuum for Matthews and Nylander to get theirs. And like this Vancouver team has nothing defensively. They are very bad on the penalty kill. So I don't mind going kind of power play stacky, but you're getting a little bit more with Nyes on that top line with Matthews. So I'm interested here. That's how I'm going to play it. If you had the funds, I think you could click on Morgan Riley, but he hasn't been great. Just hasn't been super involved. But 4,400, if you're already going 3-man, like throw in the fourth, it's fine.
Okay. Islanders, Minnesota. Now we get to the teams that I have not even looked at their morning skates. So
I retweeted the Islanders. So I'll pull them up for you.
All right.
Do you have any initial thoughts on the Islanders as I go?
Okay, yeah, we have Anthony Duclair sighting, so that's really the only the main thing I've been watching out for.
Drew, Richie, Heineman.
Okay, I'm not gonna update all this live because I know we gotta get moving here. So
it's a whole thing.
Yeah, that top six though looks fine. It's a matchup in Minnesota though, so you're not gonna catch me on too much of a Islanders bend here. Just looking at the matchup in general, obviously for the Islanders it doesn't look great, and for Minnesota it looks fine. So just note that again. I'll read it one more time. Anders Lee, Barzal, Duclair. That's noted here. Obviously, that line is 12.9K. The others are Druin, Richie, Heineman, Shabanov, Pajot, Holmstrom, and Siplikov, Zizekas, Gatcomb. And yeah, I like Cal Richie and Heineman and Druin kind of, but Richie Heineman not on this slate. Maybe on like a turbo slate or something.
Yep.
Anyone you want to call out?
It's not really. I mean, this is pretty much right in line with those two games that are like the clear lowest total games. This is one of them. I think I'm a bit. I'm not even sure if it's entirely warranted that these are the lowest total games, but I just think that like all the upside relies on the other side to get where it needs to go. I get the one-off pieces here, like you're kind of alluding to, that are cheap, but I'm not. I don't think I'm playing that game. Like you could play Duclair as a one-off on the top line, whatever, but nobody else is standing out in a massive way as like well, this guy not only is in a good role, he also shoots. He's also getting power play time. He like it's sort of like there's a problem with every one of these pieces. Like Cal Richie, it's like, oh wait, like he's on the second line now. He had 9 minutes last game. Like it's just not sustainable. Like even if he's getting an increase, it might just go to 12, and he's not really a rate shooter. Like we're getting Duclair, right? Duclair has looked good. He's not on the top power play. And he also will probably, like any other one of their, like Barzal's going to play a ton of minutes. Heineman's looked like he's pretty cemented. Drouin's pretty cemented, like Anders Lee. But, like, the other guys are just not going to play nearly as many minutes as these other guys. So I stand out on it.
I'm literally trying to get you out of here by 3, and you just spent 3 minutes talking about the New York Islanders after I
being bad. Everyone needs to know that they're bad.
So Minnesota sounds like there's no Joel Eriksson. We don't know that for sure. He was termed day to day, but they just called up someone named Ben Jones. I mean, we know Ben Jones, but I couldn't tell you if he walked into my house if he was Ben Jones or not. So I don't know who's gonna be like top six centers for these guys. I assume it's Hartman and Yurov, but I'm not sure who goes where. Looking at last game, it looks like it was mostly Yurov with Kaprizov, Zuccarello, so I'm going to keep that, and then go Ryan Hartman, Boldy, Johansson. Power play one was, I guess, before Eriksson got hurt because he's on the power play one. Let's see, is there anything?
It's probably going to be Tarasenko, right?
I mean, who takes the draws? Boldy, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. That'd be the only way.
So I don't know. Yeah, I simply I don't know here. We don't have any information, but this is a great matchup. So if you want to take a stab on a 3,400 Hartman or a 3,100 Yurov, as long as you're doing it in full stacks, I don't mind. Is this game a 7? No, it's an 8 o'clock game. So yeah, we won't know when the slate starts probably what the lineup is, but keep an eye out for that because there's value here, and obviously there are studs who are performing like Boldy and Kaprizov. Yeah. Anything specific or just play them and move on?
I mean, it might seem like 24 minutes and 44 seconds for Kirill Kaprizov must be a factor of Joel Eriksson being out, but he had more ice time against LA at 25:06. So like, I don't know, man. Like if you're playing Minnesota and you're not playing Kaprizov, I would restart the lineup building process. So like 8,500, but I think he's a much more valuable player than that. And like, I really like this matchup quite a bit. So I'm pretty high in Minnesota. That's part of the problem with playing Toronto, and that's a bigger issue with playing Edmonton that we haven't discussed yet. Is that I think that I'm gonna have Boldy, Kaprizov, and I continue to go back to the map for Minnesota. I can't wait to lose again, and add in Zuccarello to this mix as well. Like he's been shooting. Like this guy has a how many shots on goal in the past 3? Like 11. 20 minutes of ice time for Matt Zuccarello at 4,700. Like I've already convinced myself, I think, in the 4-man stack. So that's probably my top of the night. And maybe even making it a 5 with Yurov. Like, who gives a shit?
Yep. Brock Faber continues to produce. I think did he score last game? He did something last game.
Yeah. He had 2 points, 3 shots, 19.3. 30
yeah,
minutes
like,
of ice time.
I'm fully throwing in the towel on this. Like, I mean, 22, 16, 12, 10, 9, 14, 1, 13, 7, 19, 29, 16, 19. Those are his game logs. Like, at some point, like, you just got to look at these numbers and say, yeah, this is not the same player as last year. And he has Quinn Hughes next to him. Like, come on.
That helps.
Chicago, Nashville.
Chicago on a back-to-back. Nashville is going to have the same lineup their coach said with maybe there was one difference, but it doesn't really matter. Chicago got Connor Bedard back. Him and Lev Shadov. Like Lev Shadov's been really good as well, but I don't know. Chicago on a back-to-back on this slate. It's not as cheap as I'd like it to be, but we're back to Bedard or nothing, right?
I think so. I don't know. I don't even 8,600 Bedard. Like, how do you even? Yeah, I don't know how you get there on a back-to-back for a team where like everyone seems to be sick. Like, it's not looking good. I don't think Knight or Soderblom are available here, so it might be Drew Comesso again. It might be some other.
They called up someone different because it sounds like Comesso might be. Like it's pretty dire straits.
Yeah. It's not great.
It's very likely Chicago has a goalie that is not offered.
This third line, Teravainen, Moore, Lardis is like the only possible thing I'm considering if you're trying to jam in like a Mega McDavid or something, because Lardis is 2,500 and Teravainen and Moore are good passers. Like that's literally it. And obviously you could do a full stack or more likely just like a mini stack or something. But yeah, Levshinov is 4K if you really want to go down that well. I don't mind. But yeah, I'm not finding $8,600 for Bedard on a big slate like this with lots of options that I like.
Sounds fair. On the Nashville side, are you ready to move over?
Yep.
Yeah, Nashville is again going against Chicago on a back-to-back with the flu. there's a lot of cheaper options here, and the entire top line is power play correlated and not that expensive. I know you've been kind of going to the Matt Perceived and Stamkos, and he had 20 minutes last game, 4 shots on goal. Like it does feel like he just continues to be a guy at his price that warrants a lot of consideration, and this matchup should be even better for that kind of consideration.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. Evangelista 4,100. The rates have come down, and he's not on that top line, but like on that top power play, like I think you could add him in with Stamkos or really anybody into that sort of mix. And Roman Yossi, the price has gone down, but all of the production as far as the shots and shots and blocks have gone up. So I don't know. Are you considering the stack, or where are you at?
I mean, they're going. I would be shocked if Nashville weren't the highest owned. Like if Nashville one weren't the highest owned stack on the night. They fit with
Yeah.
everything. They're 16.4K, and they're very concentrated. Like it's not like you're looking to play Nashville and then you need to pick between options like you do for Buffalo or whatever. Like it's just these guys, maybe an Evangelista, maybe a Yossi, but otherwise, yeah, you're getting to these three. They're all cheap. They've all been productive, honestly, except for Forsberg. But we know Philip Forsberg long term. Um, yeah, I can't really say much more than that. I just you know it's owned going in, so just make sure you're pulling a lever of some sort to differentiate yourself. And if that's a Connor Bedard, then great. But like, yeah, there's many ways to differentiate on this slate, and it probably comes from other games if you're playing Nashville one.
I think that's very fair.
All right,
Two
two
games
more.
left. Yeah, this one should be, I think, relatively fast.
Yeah, LA, we just simply don't know what they're gonna do. I obviously no. Well, I think they have guys traveling with them, but no
Yeah.
Kopitar, no more. Um,
No
I don't even
Armia.
think, no
Armia's
Armia,
out.
no Perry, and then it's just fucking whoever they want to play with Byfield,
Yeah.
Fiala, Kuzmenko. At this point, and then LaFerriere can't be are sort of their own roving unit. Instead of this sheet, why don't I just pull up last game's 11 and 7 layout, because I imagine it looks something like this, where just everyone plays it for everyone. Fiala, Kuzmenko have been relatively glued together, as have LaFerriere and Kempe. But Byfield roams around. He gets Fiala shifts, he gets Kempe shifts. Yeah, 20 minutes for all the power play one guys. You're playing these guys and no one else, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% through the power play. There's pieces around it that, I mean, everything you're saying makes perfect sense. Kuzmenko had, I believe, 2 shots on goal and like 9 attempts. I don't remember exactly. Needed him for 3, only got the 2. But I'll take it, won money. But like,
I didn't.
Kuzmenko should be considered. Like I think that Fiala Turcotte Kuzmenko line is in play. Like Turcotte getting 17 minutes is a of note. 3,100, but like has at least pedigree. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it really. I think really what I don't mind is just a one-off piece here in Kuzmenko going back the other way with like hopefully being able to push McDavid. Like if you're playing McDavid and Draisaitl or McDavid and whatever, but McDavid of course being a factor, 3,500 for Kuzmenko for a guy that A is shooting, B is playing a lot, and we know has efficiency in his range of outcomes. So like I'm pretty in on that. And Fiala is just the best kind of all around player. Like I would include him too if you could, but obviously 6,200 when you're playing McDavid in a stack on Edmonton is going to be tough. But all the minutes, shooting, and a great distributor and play driver in Fiala. So that's my angle here is Kuzmenko and then bring it back. And we can move over to Edmonton if you're ready to what we'd bring it back with.
Yes, both sides of this game look pretty good, and honestly, from a pace perspective, Corsi attempts, LA looks pretty good too. So yes, you will probably catch me going back to lose on Kuzmenko stuff because he looked awesome last night, and I was just really sad watching that, knowing I wouldn't be paid out for it.
Do you want to guess if his numbers got better or worse?
They got so much worse.
Plus 100 for 2 shots? Is that so much worse? Wasn't it 105 or 110?
I have no idea what it was.
It was
yesterday.
105 at puck drop. I know it was 105.
I know what I bet the 3 number at. That's all I know because I did not win money on 2 because I used my bet boost and nothing else on him. God.
Or
yep, it's 300. Angle? It's 300 on the nose, so it's slightly worse than yesterday. Okay,
you
tell me.
Kuzmenko one shot in the first period at plus 130, back to back. They come out ripping. Huh?
Plus 130 back to. But okay, whatever. I'm not betting stuff like that. I'm just using the stupid 20% boost. Okay.
Okay, we move.
All right. It's locked in. It's locked in. I've bet my money on Kuzmenko again because he is playing he's playing a ton, and that price just does not reflect that. Edmonton, not a team I'm afraid of necessarily. Do we have Jake Wallman status updates?
I don't personally. Like, he didn't call me or anything. He didn't like text me either and been like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm back." So
still no Wallman, Nurse Emberson, and Stastny Regula. So no change defensively for Edmonton means I'm interested in LA, unfortunately. And that's that. The only players you really care about are RNH, McDavid, Hyman, and Draisaitl. Kapanen's price remains 2,700. He's with Draisaitl, so you can consider that. He's been good in his return, but it's 2 games, so take that with a hefty grain of salt. And Howard, Roslovic, Savoy, they might get more minutes with no Adam Henrique, and they're really cheap. But again, I don't think this LA team's like a terrible team. They're just, incredibly injured right now and on a back-to-back. So, it's more just a McDavid show for me. And also, you only have Matthews on the slate to fight rather than McKinnon, Celebrini, so on. So, it's McDavid for me.
I know. I'm very much going to be debating playing a Minnesota onslaught and a bit of a game stack here. And honestly, I don't think it's entirely stupid to say like McDavid with no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to look into how I could get like 4 players in this game in a lineup though. It's a 6.5 for a reason. McDavid's certainly a part of it, but what do you do to make that function? Is going to be interesting. We get to the final game of the slate. We'll get you out of here.
Oh my God.
St. Louis on a back-to-back in the true lowest total. Vegas minus 265 at home. They've looked a lot better. Jack Eichel's looked great. I think I would hear you out on playing anything on the Vegas side. I'm not sure I'm going to listen to too many people tell me how they could fit in St. Louis, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, this is how they looked last night. They then lost 4-2 to Utah. They won the expected goals battle, so congratulations to them. I didn't listen to the post-game interviews to know how pissed the coach was. I'm sure Jim Montgomery is just fucking out of his mind at this point with how St. Louis is playing, but they're either in a playoff spot or like right on the periphery somehow, so I don't think too much will change based on this, honestly, but keep an eye out.
The Snuggerud 2 shots that hit in like the first 2 minutes of the game last night was nice. And like, I get going back to the mat, like he's actually shooting a ton and seeing a lot of ice time, but
you didn't pause for my applause.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the only thing I'm at all interested on this entire game. And I'm not even that interested in it. Like it feels like an option at minus 130, but it moved pretty fast. It was like plus 100 yesterday, and I don't know if he's long term going to be a major factor in the shooting capacity. But let's just talk Vegas if we're
just real quick. This line 10.6K for 26 expected.
No one's going to play it.
21 actual. I don't know. Buchnevich, Shen, Snuggerud, whatever. If you need cheap shit, that's fine. Vegas. Barbashev, Eichelstone, Howden, Hurdle, Kolasar. My God, did they keep these lineup? Did they keep these lines? Please tell me they kept these lines. That would be so funny when people play Vegas tonight for some reason. Smith, Marner, Dorofeyev. Okay, so that's just because Brandon Saad's out. They got bailed out. That's annoying. All right. In any case, though, Sissons, Bowman, Cole Reinhardt. Cool. Any interest here in the Vegas Golden Knights?
A little. It's all Jack Eichel related. I think I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to like circle around Eichel, and then I'm going to just say like, wait, he's 100 less than Kaprizov, and end up going with Kaprizov. So I think the long and short of it is I'm probably not going to play this game at all.
Alright.
It's the worst game on the entire slate from Vegas. I don't think it particularly looks great anyways, so
Shea Theodore's back. My best ball bags are saved.
saved.
But yeah, you can't play him at 4,800 on where he's just not getting power play time. So yeah, I'm not interested. Any top stacks from you? Guarantee goals from this main slate?
Yeah, let's do the
Thank you.
top stacks
Thank you, Shams.
first. Yep.
All right.
I mean, I'm almost about to pat us on the back for only going an hour and 25 minutes, but we got through the end decently on a decent clip. I think, I think when the cards turn over, it's probably going to be Montreal 2 and then Edmonton, LA game stack for me. So I'll just take everything right now.
All right. I feel pretty good about Kaprizov, Zuccarello, Quinn Hughes. So I'll take that on the expensive end.
Yep.
And on the cheaper end of things, you said you went Montreal too, right?
Yep.
So they are a very good option, but I will go Philly with Michkov, Dvorak, and Zegras.
So
if
Philly
you need,
won.
if you need
Minnesota.
cheaper than 13.8K, you can mix in Ristolainen too, over like a Zegras or something.
I quite legitimately think I'm gonna have like two lineups that are exactly what I just said, and then almost exactly what you just said. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be Philly 1 or not. But maybe a piece of that at the very least. But like, I would say Minnesota and Edmonton are my 1 and 2, but that is unbelievably expensive. So like, how do you get cheap around it? I think once again, I like the idea, and if you don't have it unabated up on your screen right now, that's okay. I can sort of do this on the fly, of doing the what was it, plus 700 maybe we'll do. Each of us have to try to stay under.
Sure. Yeah. The yeah, or under or over or like around. I think that's what.
Let's
I think
do
that was
set.
the
Let's
idea.
let's do plus 700. It's I think
Alright.
easier. Like say so over plus 700. For your
Couple
guaranteed goals.
couple
You
guaranteed
can go
goal long
first.
shots then. All right. So where are we? 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go Jake
2 minutes.
DeBrusk
2 minutes.
plus 240 against the stupid clown show Toronto lineup.
DeBrusk. What do you say? Oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure it's fine. Oh my god, I'm getting.
You know what? I need the value, and it's actually 40 points better on DK. Linus Carlson plus 450.
Wow.
That dude's a moods dude.
I actually really don't hate that. I think if you're doing anything with him, it's certainly the score. I will go. I had a perfect idea, and it's just a hair off, but I might just do it anyways. I'm gonna stick with. Oh wait, are we only doing the late slate? No, we're only doing the late slate. I was say fucking cheating cough. All right, I'm gonna take Stamkos, and then I'm gonna figure it out. He's like 190 or something. I'm gonna
Makes
look what I can
sense.
find.
I need like a 250-ish number. So anyone,
All right.
anyone.
I have 3 guys to pick from, and I'll let you pick when you're ready.
I mean, I'm ready if you know.
I'm either gonna go with Duclair, Bouchard, or you're off for my next one.
I like Bouchard. That's spicy.
Yeah, I think that's the spicy take at 5-1 that gets me going. So Stamkos and Bouchard. I actually think it's like 5 points off or something. It might be 5 points off, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep over
All
it.
right. And finally, let's do Matvey Michkov. I know he took it in the stack. I don't care. Plus 310. We're back. We're so back. It's go
the
time.
perfect pick, the perfect guy, and the perfect way to win money on this slate. I feel like we gave a lot of good advice and a good alpha here, so I'm happy with the Saturday stream.
We have early slate stuff for the 3:30 people, so make sure you check that out. Thank you to Shams. Thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. I will get to building that, and I'll see you all in the Discord. We'll be back on Tuesday for your regularly scheduled Boydescape podcast. DJ, anything you want to add?
Go Sabres.
Go Sabres. Alrighty, from Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good wild card weekend, everybody, and we will see ya.
You're sitting there looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.